Hi, I'm Mike Cordova with Remax Revolution, and this is my lovely wife, Mary Barella Cordova. Today we're going to continue our series on home buyer or home sellers 101. We're going to be talking about what happens when an appraisal comes in low. So last time we were talking about appraisals. Now we've run into the situation where an appraisal comes in low. So what happens?
And when you say it comes in low, what do you mean?
So I'll give you an example.
Good.
Say we have our listing, and our listing, the purchase price we're under contract for is $400,000.
Okay.
And the buyer is putting 5% down, which means on a $400,000 purchase, they're putting $20,000 down,
Okay.
and the lender is giving them a loan of $380,000. So the appraiser comes in, he says, no, the value that I see on this property is $380,000 instead of $400,000.
That's a big problem, because now we're talking a $20,000 difference, and the appraisal goes to the buyer's lender, who then tells the buyer's agent, who then tells the buyer, and now everybody's freaking out.
Right, because now the lender is only going to lend on 95% of that $380,000, which means they're going to only give a loan of $361,000. So now instead of the buyer bringing in $20,000 as a down payment, they've got to bring in $39,000 to meet that $400,000 purchase price.
And the challenge with that is, this is an offer we got when someone was only putting 5% down. That means the buyer doesn't have a lot of money. If they were putting 20% down, this would be a non-issue if the appraisal came in low. But these people are only putting 5% down. So we know when they call us and say, appraisal came in low, we know we have a problem that we're going to need to solve.
We have two options in this situation, right? We either have the buyer and seller agree to lower the price, or we say, sorry, we think that this is really, as a seller's agent, we think that the property is really valued correctly, and that means the deal is going to fall.
And here's the thing, when Mike says we decide, we don't decide. We're going to explain to our seller this situation, and we're going to show them their options. And we'll be honest with them. If we feel that the purchase price was a little bit high, we might say to our seller, you know what? We could split the difference. Since they want you to lower the price $20,000. What about $10,000? Really, we knew we were pushing the envelope when we had it listed at $400. We got that offer at $400. So our seller might agree, and then we would do an amendment to the purchase and lower the price to $390,000. And then we go to the buyer, and the buyer says, that's okay. I like that. You're splitting the difference. I can live with that. I'll bring $10,000 extra to closing. But when Mike says our other option is, our seller just says, you know what? I know this house is worth $400,000, and we're just going to put it back on the market if the buyer won't move forward.
In an escalating market, the appraiser is really looking at past history. He's not really taking into account that the market is going up. He's only looking at prior sales.
Well, and that's why it's important. In our last one, Mike mentioned that we can meet the appraiser at the property, hand him some written documents, talk a little bit about the neighborhood and the improvements that the seller's done to try and help him realize that the value of the house is the purchase price. So we want to make sure that you understand that you've got to be working with people with experience that know some options and ideas and can get creative with how this can work. And many times it's just talking with a buyer's agent, and the buyer agent understanding they need to talk with the lender. And very often the buyer does have some extra cash, and very often the buyer can bring a little extra to closing, and then our seller can come down a little bit if necessary. So we can work it out, and in the end, seller's market, buyer doesn't want to move forward, we put it back on the market, and we get it sold.
Right. So thanks for listening to this video. The next one we're going to talk about is the closing process.
Oh, that's right. We're almost to closing. How exciting. We love closings. I just had one this morning, and it's always fun. I like to bring a few little gifts, and it's good to see the families and meet everybody. So I hope you like this one. So make sure you mark like, subscribe, and the bell notification. And that way it can go to other people. You can always send it to your friends, your mother, your aunt, your uncle, and just get the word out. So thank you again. I'm Mary Barella Cordova with Remax Revolution, and
I'm Mike Cordova with Remax Revolution and Mono Mortgage Express.
So there you go. Have a great day. Be well, and thank you so much for being here.